Right, good morning. I'm at Lymm Vale. It's a water owned by Lymm Angling Club in Cheshire. Nice little lake. Not big really, it's fairly small, I guess about 7 acres, something like that. Got some really nice fish in here. They're not huge by today's standards, but they're nice looking fish, and it's interesting fishing. There's quite a lot of margin fishing and that kind of thing. But the fish can be quite cute, you know, and the lake can get busy at times. Whenever I turn up at a lake like this, I always think to myself, you know, how can I get a little edge above anyone else, and what gives me, you know, what can give me a better chance of catching some fish if the lake's busy. And so I thought I'd do a little video and just talk about how I sort of think outside the box when I turn up to a lake. For example, there's always areas that don't get fished so much. Either it's too much hassle for other anglers, or they just don't see it as an area that they can fish effectively, you know. So this is a prime example. This bay to my left here, just behind me, is an area that the fish definitely like. I've seen a lot of fish in there in recent sessions, but it's not easily fishable because the peg's out in front here, and it's impossible to cast into the bay to the left because of the trees surrounding the peg. So I always bring my chest waders on waters like this. It just enables you to put the fish back safely if you know, if it's shallow in the edge and the water's low. But so basically all I've been doing is sort of getting the chest waders, just walk down to my left here. It's just a dead simple underarm flick, and just walk back in the waders along the margin and around the trees, and then I can position my rod on the peg and fish like that. You know, you're not allowed to fish anywhere else other than the designated swims on this lake, so really it's the only way of doing it. You're not breaking any rules, you're still fishing from the peg. It's just that you're using the waders and going round the trees to be able to put the bait in the right position, you know. So that's how I started the session, and well, I came yesterday at about 3 o'clock, something like that. It's now about 8 o'clock the following morning. I've had 2 fish, both on the rod that were positioned into the bay to my left. I've been using some tigers from my company, Cutting Edge Products. These are the new premium tigers that we're doing now, and I've just been putting some cork. I've been drilling one out and putting some cork in just to balance it and take the weight of the hook. The hook's still sitting flat on the bottom. I'll show you the rig actually. We'll do a little piece on that, and I'll have a closer look at the rig. But I've been using some tigers, and I've been dead sparing. I've used tigers for years, and less is definitely more. I've just been baiting into this area with literally 10 or 15 tiger nuts, and I've just been spreading them throughout the bay, you know. Yesterday I was watching fish showing over the top, and you know, there was a bit of fizz coming up here and there, and you just knew it was going to happen. You fish in an area that doesn't normally get fished. The fish feel pretty safe there, and fortunately, you know, I had 2 nice fish: a 20 pound 2 ounce common and a 3112 mirror. I've since found out from John, the waterkeeper down here, that the 3112 mirror is actually the biggest one in the lake, so that's really nice. We're not overrun with massive fish in Cheshire, and a 30 pound plus fish is a really good fish to catch, so that's really good. So I think we'll do a closer look at the rig in a little while, and but before that I'll show you the fish that I've caught. Here we go. That didn't take too long. You can guess which rod it was, can't you? Not a massive fish, but nice little common. actually weighed it, just went over 20 pounds. Maybe carrying a little bit of spawn. A little bit feisty as well. Right, I'm going to have a quick look at the rig now that I've been using down in the bay to catch the two fish. Pretty standard really this end for me. I use this stuff all the time. This is the Camflex lead-free leader, 45 pound. Sinks really well. It's a really nice brown, sort of muddy brown colour. I've got a covert lead clip on there, that's in the see-through brown colour. A 4 ounce lead, and I've got an anti-tangle sleeve on there which is also in the see-through brown colour. That just means I've got a quick link swivel in there, I don't know if you can see that, but it just means that I can change my rig quickly if I need to. Also, when I put a fish in the net, I can just reach down carefully in the net and I can actually unhook, I can disconnect the rig from the swivel there before I attempt to lift the fish out in the net. I can leave the rod where it is on the rest and it just makes life easier basically. Down to the business end. This is the Ultra Skin by Gardner. That's in a nice brown colour as well. It sort of blends in with the sand really well on here. I'm really pleased with that stuff, it's really nice. I love the stiffness of it, to be honest with you. It's not too stiff and it's not too supple. It seems to have got it just right. It's it's exactly how I would have it if I could make the stuff myself. I've got a bit of critical mass putty on there. Not so much just to pin the rig down, but I always feel that it sort of helps to drop the rig in the fish's mouth as well, aids hooking potential in a way. And down to the hook, I've got my favourite size 6 wide gate talon tip on there. Very, very strong hook. I sharpen those up so they're absolutely needle sharp, and I can't even think that I've ever lost a fish on them, to be honest with you. They go in and they stay in, and they're really, really strong, so I'm using that. Now you can see I've tied the knotless knot there with the coated braid, probably 10mm back from the eye. I've stripped a section of about 1 inch, and at the other end I've stripped the hair to keep that supple as well. Now I'd normally use some kind of liner or maybe a shrink tube kicker or something like that on these hooks, but I found with this hook link, because it's not too stiff, when you tie the knotless knot with it, the angle in which it exits the eye there is pretty much the angle that I'd create if I was using some kind of liner or using a shrink tube kicker. So I've sort of eliminated the need to have anything on the hook now with this hook link, and I'm really pleased with this. Like I say, both fish have been nailed. Dead centre of the bottom lip, really, really good hook holes that just weren't, they weren't never going to give. I'm really pleased with it. I've got a little piece of silicone on the shank there just to keep the bait in the right position, and then down to the tiger nut. Get that a bit closer. You can see I've got a little tiny sliver of cork on top of there just to take the weight of the hook. I was drilling the tigers out and putting cork inside, but I was finding that was a little bit too buoyant, so I've changed it, and I'm trimming the very end off the tiger nut, and then just taking the edge off a cork ball and using that, and that seems to be exactly right. You know, the hook's lay on its side on the bottom, but the bait's just above it, and that seems to be doing the business. So I'll get this back out now and try and catch another one, and if I don't catch another one, I'll see you next time.